in that there's never been more supportive women to hold you and witness you every step of the way. You have group accountability partners, you have one-on-one connections, you have so much network building as you go. You have Ramonda as your #1 personal cheerleader forever after this experience. And there's no expectation to show up without fear. Like, that's part of it. And to be able to be in a space that's safe enough to transmute that a little bit and actually use it effectively. And I think a lot of people come in hesitant because of their past experiences, speaking with other demographics or other environments that couldn't hold those emotional parts. They expect you to show up, deliver the goods, and not have any connection with the community that you might be presenting with, or any facilitation of how to actually do your craft. And so the honing, the nuance of this process is just invaluable. It's worth the price of admission and more. I would like to give the utmost kudos to the entire Women Thrive team. There's so much invaluable advice and guidance that you receive along the way. The mentorship is unmatched. And so this is not a relationship that ends when the summit ends. It is the gift that keeps on giving, is really all I can say. I have relationships forever now, both personal and professional. And I'm just so excited for what the future holds.
Thank you so much to Paige. And oh my goodness, that really beautifully warms my heart. And it truly is a journey that will push you to growing edges, and it does not come without fear. And I know for some of the speakers and even for attendees, we really take you to the edges of your limits to make sure that you're growing through this process, whether you're a speaker, you're attendee, you're a participant, or even a team member. I think when you are challenged, this is when you really grow outside of your comfort zone and beautiful things start to happen. Now, without further delay, who's excited? Give me some fire emojis in the chat. Give me some love. Share this live. Make sure you're restreaming or you're sharing this live with your audience, because we are about to, drumroll, unleash the power of women voices. I have a beautiful lineup of speakers this evening, and I can't wait for you all to meet them. All right, so first up is Crystal, who is the founder of the Book of Bijou and Empowered by Women. She's also a mother of 2 beautiful young girls and also expecting her first baby boy, who's due in March. Oh my goodness. Her mission is to empower other women in business and remind them they are not only capable, but also so worthy of creating the lives that they love. Crystal, I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome.
Hi. Okay, so first off, can everyone hear me? We good on the sound? Thank you, Ray, so much for the introduction. Yes, my name is Crystal Drugrup, and I am so honored to be able to speak at the 2024 Women Thrive Summit. So when I founded our product line, Book of Bijou, and then our community platform, Empowered by Women, shortly thereafter, I really felt this natural pull towards cultivating community and really advocating for authenticity. So come March, during my talk for the summit, we are diving headfirst into all things community, its power, purpose, and how to build it from scratch. It's coming up on only 2 years since launching our Empowered by Women platform, and our community continues to thrive. We've gone from hosting 2 events in our first year to already having 12 events lined up for 2024, with a handful more still being finalized. We've supported close to 100 women-owned brands through our in-person events, and have also raised more than $5,000 to pour back into our community, which is something that means so much to me. And I really attribute that success to authenticity and to a mantra that I love to preach, which is being loudly passionate. I wholeheartedly believe that if you tell the universe what it is that you want, or whatever your higher being is, what it is that you want, that it will provide. And when I say tell the universe what you want, girl, tell the universe what it is that you want. And that can be as simple as just sharing your vision with your audience or your immediate circle, sharing with the world what it is that you're doing, what you love, and really owning it. When I launched Book of Bijou in 2021, we dealt and continue to deal with a handful of manufacturing setbacks. And I really had to make a decision of in that moment of what I wanted our business to look like and how I wanted to run it. Did I want to be one of those shiny businesses that only showed the highlights and the beautiful images, or did I really want to integrate who I am as a business owner and as a leader and show up vulnerably and authentically and allow people not just to watch my journey from afar, but really be a part of it? If you haven't guessed, I chose the latter. And that first moment, I did make the choice to show up authentically in every aspect of business, not just the parts that really excited me. That's when I started to see the magic of showing up and doing so authentically. That's really where our community started to form and to snowball. And the reason, it's because people relate to other people. We may be a world that strives for perfection, but at the end of the day, what we resonate with is real, right? It really comes down to building genuine connections and prioritizing your heart just as much, if not more, than your hustle. There really are so many ways to start building those connections and building an audience that feels wholly aligned, not just to your brand, but who you are as an individual. From the moment you start betting on yourself and making that initial commitment to just showing up, to learning how to land collaborations, or really becoming a pro at this whole networking thing, your audience is out there waiting for you to show up, to lure them in, to inspire them, to make them feel more confident or free or whatever your expertise is. You don't need to have this massive following to start finding the success and the fulfillment that you're looking for. Your voice and your vision, those are things that you already have, and those things hold so much power. And I want to dive into all of that with you so that you can let it out and let the world see what you're capable of, and also so that you can see that you are so incredibly deserving of all of these amazing things that you've been dreaming of. Your people are out there. Heck, some of them are probably right here with us today. So come March, we're diving into all of the fun ways that you can really start showing up, truly showing up, so that the world can join in on your mission and you can start building the community that you've been dreaming of. From perfecting your pitch to leveraging similar audiences to maximizing your funnels to ensure that you're really nurturing these relationships from the point of hello or hitting that follow button, and we'll reflect and acknowledge on the impact this really has on your business. So I hope you all join us at the summit. I am so excited to connect with you all further and chat some more. It's going to be an amazing time. And I just have to throw it out there that I absolutely second everything Paige said. This community is amazing. Ray and Abby, they're amazing. And it is absolutely something that you want to be part of.
Yay, Crystal, thank you so much. I'm so excited about all these events you're about to unleash next year and the work that you're doing. Dawn said, I love what you do for so many women. And it's so true. We need more platforms like Thrive, One Empowered by Women, and just other platforms that really champion and put women on the map and give them opportunities to network and create collaborations. What are you most excited about the year to come?
Oh my gosh, so many things. Well, I mean, obviously, baby is one of them. But I think that's going to transition a whole bunch of things. And I think a lot of women have said this about Women Thrive. But I know that being able to speak on this kind of platform, a global platform, and with so many incredible women, I know it's just going to catapult my mission tenfold. And I'm so excited to see what opportunities just start opening up very naturally.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I remember when I was pregnant, I was so emotional. I mean, I cried this morning, all right? Like, I was still getting emotional. I don't know about you. Do you go through like quite a bit of emotions now that you're expecting your little one?
Usually it's in the beginning of pregnancy for me. So I've been pretty okay. I've been pretty even keeled lately.
Well, we look forward to welcoming your baby boy in March, and of course, seeing you on the summit. Thank you so much, Crystal, for being here today. I appreciate
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, ladies.
you. Oh my goodness, this was Crystal. And here we are. We are powerhouses. We're raising children. It doesn't matter that we are pregnant. We're still doing what we're doing. And next up, actually, I have another incredible superwoman who works with children too. So next up, we got Brown Burgeon, who is the founder and president of the Stars Kids Life Coaches. She says there is no greater inspiration than empowering children. Stars Kids Life Coaches is a certified global kids life group specializing in building self esteem, social skills, emotional intelligence, and communication skills, while also addressing growth mindset for athletes, attention disorders, divorce recovery, and parental counseling. Brian, I am so excited to have you here. It seems like we've got a theme. Maybe I should bring my daughter to the screen.
I would love that. That would be amazing. Let's start her really early. The earlier, the better.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you on screen. So over to you, my love.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm Bronwyn Bergen, and I'm a global kids life coach and parenting expert who helps parents raise happy, healthy, confident, independent kids. My talk is titled, How to Raise Your Kids Without Pulling Your Hair Out. As parents, we all have those moments where we want to scream, give up, or just walk away. I can relate. I am a mother of 4, 2 boys and 2 girls. And besides being a mom, I am the founder of Stars Kids Life Coaches, where I have built a global business of committed and compassionate certified life coaches for children. I know some of you are thinking, what is a kids life coach? We specialize in building self-esteem, emotional intelligence, growth mindset, goal setting, problem solving, athletic mindset, and building resilience in our children. After the pandemic, we saw an even greater need to build emotional intelligence and social skills in our youth. Kids Life Coaches can be a valuable resource for children and their families. They can help children develop the skills they need to overcome challenges and reach full potential while working on building better family dynamics. My story starts with being an educator who grew empowered over the decades to become a major change maker in kids' lives. I'm not implying that teachers aren't, because they are superstars, but I needed to create even more of an impact. I always knew I wanted to help people, and I especially wanted to help kids. I saw how much potential they had, and I wanted to help them reach for the stars, which is how I came up with my company name, Stars Kids Life Coaches. I loved teaching kids, and I was good at it. But I didn't care for the structured days and the state mandates. And if there's any teachers out there listening, you know exactly what I mean. I would hear comments from my students' parents, such as, my child has never connected with a teacher like this before. I took this gift of connecting to kids and applied it to becoming a kids' life coach. After 26 years of teaching and educating our youth, I noticed that there was this shift in our children. Less confidence, rise in anxiety, a lack of coping and resilience. And I knew I needed to jump into action. There are adult life coaches, but why aren't there coaches specifically trained for kids? That was a life-changing moment. The perfect business to empower kids to be the best versions of themselves. I decided to start my own kids life coaching business, and I also wanted to be able to help even more kids. So I created a certification process in order to train more coaches. Starting my own business was a lot of work, yet rewarding. At the beginning of my business, I was teaching during the day and coaching kids at night, burning the candle at both ends. And I'm sure most women entrepreneurs out there listening, you can relate. But I was battling one issue. Many people didn't know what kids' life coaches do or how we can help. So I needed to put kids' life coaching on the map. Over the past 5 years, parents are learning the validity of what we do and how we can empower our youth. One of my goals is having every child use the phrase, well, my kid's life coach said, as we hear adults say, my mind and body coach or my therapist, right? Every child and family can benefit from building lifelong skills through kids' life coaches. In my talk, I'll share top tips for raising kids without pulling your hair out. We don't want to lose our hair. No. I'll cover topics like how to set boundaries, how to discipline effectively, and how to communicate with our kids in ways that build trust and respect. That is paramount in building family dynamics. I'll also share some of the latest research on child and teen development so that you can be sure that you're giving your kids the best possible start in life. If you're a parent who's looking for practical advice and support, I encourage you to attend my talk. I promise you, you'll leave feeling more confident and empowered to raise the kids of your dreams. Thank you so much, and I so look forward to seeing so many of you at the Women's Thrive Summit in March. I can't wait.
Yay, Rowan. Oh my goodness, that was so, so beautiful. I love your mission. I love your work. And how, like Shatali was saying, imagine how different our world would be if we were teaching our kids emotional resilience and mental resiliency. It's just absolutely beautiful. And Adria just echoes the same.
Thank
Wow.
you.
What's ahead for next year for you?
Well, obviously, the Women's Thrive Summit. And again, like Crystal, I'm looking forward to that, even propelling my mission of putting out there what we do, but also growing my business with more coaches across the US and globally. That way we can help more children.
Yeah, and you was just sharing yesterday, you're like, how far you have come this year. You're celebrating your wins at this time last year. You had a big
Absolutely.
vision, and the year has just been phenomenal for you. And
Mhm.
it just goes to show how many people resonate with that message and believe that, we can grow children who are happier and they can have the support that is needed. It doesn't mean that we're not capable as parents, but having more support. And I really, truly love your message and your mission.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Lovely to see you, Rowan. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being here, all of you. And leave a comment below. Let me know where in the world you're joining us from. It's so nice to see that our community are from all around the world. We have people in Canada, US, the Caribbean, from Africa, from Europe. This morning we had a lot of the ladies from Australia as well. South Africa, Marion says. I love it, Adrienne. West Coast of Canada. Jane is from Toronto, Canada. Abigail from the UK. I'm based in Spain and it's still nice and warm. Not for long because I'm off to London in about 2 days. So I'll be enjoying that. Not quite snow, but probably rain, that's for sure. Dawn in Michigan, Philadelphia. Oh, I love, love, love that. All right. So we're actually off to Michigan now because we're about to meet Dawn Gordon, who is the CEO of Mind Body Counseling and Coaching PLLC, licensed professional counselor, yoga teacher, mindset expert, and self-image coach, international speaker, and 3 times best-selling author. And beyond all of that, just a huge, beautiful soul that we have on this stage. Welcome, Dawn.
Oh, thank you, Ray. It's always so good to be here. So much fun to share and be excited together for what's to come. I love it.
Me too. I'm looking forward to hearing you on our stage. You always bring just the most amazing energy, and thank you for being on our stage.
Oh,
Over to you.
thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. It's so good to see who's here from all over the world. It's so exciting. So today I want to share with you a little bit about my journey in this personal development world, or what I like to call personal empowerment, and what I'll actually be diving into in March in the Women Thrive Summit. My talk is called Unlock the Power of a Positive Self-Image and Redefine Your Worthiness. So in my journey through my counseling practice as a coach and being a certified in complementary medicine and wellness, I wanted to share with you what it really means to be, this mind-body connection. That's the key. It's like in this journey through my education and practice, I always knew there was this mind-body connection. So there's something to that. And I want to share with you a little bit about that. And my first understanding of that came when I was experiencing panic attacks and anxiety and insomnia as a freshman in college. So big challenges I faced. I knew I was anxious. I knew I couldn't sleep. I was overwhelmed with school. And from that day forward, I realized that I had to pay attention to what my thoughts were, because my thoughts were impacting how I was feeling, which impacted my body, how I was showing up in this tense state of being. And that's when I discovered meditation and decided to use meditation to eliminate my panic attacks and anxiety. And it worked. So that was pretty exciting for me when I discovered that it works. So I call meditation my magic pill. It is, always will be. And what I did is I had this little cassette player. It looked just like this. This is not my original one. This is one I found, but it looked just like this from the 80s. And I would put in my cassettes. If you remember what cassettes, any of you remember what cassettes look like. I would plug in my cassette and I would listen to these meditations at night because I couldn't sleep anyway. And I started to notice a new conversation in my head. And because that old conversation was about self-doubt, limiting beliefs, and what if I fail? And what if I can't pass the next test? And all these what ifs and self-doubt and all that, the thoughts of I'm not good enough and all that negative chatter, the chaos you might be familiar with. And so I noticed that conversation started to quiet down when I started to meditate. And I was sleeping again, and I felt at ease again, and I was handling myself so much differently. And so if my mind could control my body, there was something to this, right? There's this, just the other day, I actually pulled a book off my bookshelf that was one of my very first books from college, and I kept it. It's called Bioenergetics. And it was one of the very first books I read about this mind-body connection. How powerful are my thoughts, and how do they impact my body and who I am? And another favorite of mine is Joe Dispenza. He has an amazing book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Is that like the best title? Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And he talks about personality. And I loved this because I often would hear people say, well, Dawn, this is just who I am. This is just the way it is. It's how I was born. Well, Joe talks about personality is what you think all day long, what you feel all day long, and what you do all day long. So I could have taken the identity on as being this person with panic attacks or anxiety, but I chose to shift into something different. I chose to change the thoughts, change the emotions, and then show up differently. So it's all about habit, right? So our thoughts are habit, our emotions are habit, our actions are habit. That's our personality. It's these habits. So our thoughts are changeable, our emotions are changeable, and what we do is changeable. But we have to choose, right? We have to choose. So imagine that time when you decided to think differently, to feel differently, to act differently. And so how do we go on and create who we choose to be? Well, we have to practice, right? We have to understand the power of habit and practice and know that you've done it before. You know what it's like to change the perspective and shift into something else. So knowing that our beliefs are habit, and we can change those beliefs and choose something. So we get past those limiting beliefs. We get past the self-doubt. So imagine, I want you to imagine for a moment, what are you without that thought? Who can you become without that negative thought? That's the big question. So that's where the journey begins. And I'm so excited to share with you more at the summit in March, my talk on how to really begin that journey of shifting into a new, powerful, positive self-image, stepping into that space, something different than this negative belief, something different than this self-doubt, because it's doable. We're changeable. We're always evolving and growing. And so I invite you to visit my website. It's dawngaden.com. It's super simple, dawngaden.com. I'll put it in the chat. And I want you to get a taste, like start practicing what it's like to make that shift. And I have a gift for you. It's called Unleash Joy in 3 minutes. Now, I'm not a shortcut kind of person. I'm a positive, lasting change kind of person, but you can do this in 3 minutes. You can move your body, choose powerful, positive words, speak out loud, and begin to see the shift into who you really want to be. We get to create our life. We get to create this new, powerful, positive self-image. And so I'm so excited to share with you more at the summit in March. Sign up now. We have amazing speakers, as you've already seen. And it's really your opportunity to take the next step, right? Choose joy. That's why I call my free gift to you, Unleash More Joy. What's the one thing that people say often is, I want to be happy. I just want to be happy. At the bottom, we might go on and say, I want more toys and I want more money and I want more this, but why? I just want to be happy. So I invite you to practice. Check out my website, dawngaden.com, and unleash joy in 3 minutes. Move your body, speak powerful, positive words, and really begin to shift into that amazing new image. So I invite you to comment in the chat, like that new image that you see for yourself. What is that emotion you want to create for yourself?
Wow. Thank you so much. Yes. Positive self-image. So powerful, Dawn. Something just changes internally, and I can't explain it when you start to really appreciate yourself and see yourself in a different light. And I know that having meditations and doing that inner work can shift the patterns. And as you say, it's all changeable. We can feel different about things around us. And a lot of times people seek for happiness outside of ourselves, all whilst the happiness is within.
It's within, yes. So true. So true.
Dawn, thank you. I can't wait to see your talk on the summit.
Yes.
Oh, so bring on March.
So fun. So much more to share. Love it. Thank you so much, Ray.
Thank you. And when was the last time you guys seen a cassette?
I know you love it. I found one. I'm like, this is what I had in college, because I still have cassettes too. And one in here is my meditation. It's like so funny, the things that change us. This one's called Unlimited Thinking. Living without limits in our thoughts and everything. You gotta love it.
How much life has moved on since cassette.
And it's funny because I think this is actually smaller than my phone nowadays. Actually, the cell phone, they went from tiny to bigger to it's so funny.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Dawn. Lovely to see you today.
Thank you.
That was Dawn Gordon. And do make sure you connect with her or anybody else. If you've seen someone on the stage, maybe they offered their resources or you just felt really inspired, do make sure you head over to their website, you connect with them, you tell them how much you've been inspired by their message. I know we're going very, very quickly and there's quite a few speakers here on stage today, but I think it's beautiful when you get the snippets of their stories and their perspectives and what they get to offer, all the gifts that they bring into this world. Isn't it just fun to spend the time here together and just get to know people really quickly? And then if you enjoy what they have to share, why not take this relationship further and connect online, maybe set up a call, have a chat, see how you can collaborate or work together. Beautiful. We've got some more amazing speakers. So I think we're headed to Adrienne shortly. I just want to make sure that she is ready. We have Adrienne Dyer, who is a nonfiction book coach and ghostwriter with a proven method for helping entrepreneurs write business books that set them on a fast track to reaching their goals. Adrienne, what a topic you got on today. Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much, Raimonda. I'm so excited to be here. Writing books, as you know, is my passion, as it is yours. So I'm excited to talk about it. Yes.
I can't wait. Over to you, love.
Thank you. So I actually wanted to start by just having you slip into your imagination for a minute. I want you to think about, and this kind of came to me because earlier this week, some of the other women speakers we were on a call together. We get together once a week. And we just kind of, Raimonda and Abigail asked us to share what we had accomplished in the last year. And they just kind of wanted us to talk about our wins and how far we'd come just in the last 12 months. And sometimes we don't stop and think about this. And I think it's really important to kind of take stock every once in a while. So I want you to kind of go into your imagination, except it's the year 2028. And you're thinking about your personal life, your professional life. You're thinking about everything you've achieved, even your financial picture. And I want you to really sort of imagine, where are you living, and what does your work life look like? How many hours a week do you work? How many weeks a year do you work? Do you spend lots of time on vacation? And if so, where do you travel? And I also want you to kind of think about where you're living and what you do for fun. And I want you to really think about your life purpose and whether or not you've achieved that, and kind of imagine that you have, and you're living it out, and you're working with, your dream clients, and you're doing that work that you really just felt called to do. So think about that for a minute. And after you leave this call, go and write this down. If you love to journal, I really recommend writing this down, because I think there's a powerful thing that happens when we actually write down our goals and our dreams and think about our purpose and our life mission. And now I want you to picture that you achieved all of these things. You achieved your mission, your life purpose, because in the year 2024, you wrote a book. So, and you didn't just write any book, you wrote a book that was specifically designed to get you where you imagined yourself being in 2028. And this is actually what I help people do every day. And it's the best job in the world. In fact, it doesn't feel like work. I get out of bed every morning. I can't wait to get on the phone on a Zoom call with my clients, because this is actually what I get to help people do. We start out this way. We start out with this. In fact, this is the exercise I give my clients on our very first call together. And some of those clients are coaching clients. So they are authors that are writing their own books. And some of them are ghostwriting clients, which means that I'm actually taking all the work off of their plates, and I'm the one that's doing all the writing. But we always start here. And the reason is we need to be really clear on what our purpose is and what we want to achieve in this life. Because once we really define that, and it's just so clear in our minds, we see ourselves doing those things. We know what our purpose is. Then we can actually, reverse engineer what we need to do today to get there. And writing a book is such a powerful way to achieve all of that. And so if that's ever been your dream, you've ever just really wanted to have a book, to write a book, you want to see your name on the cover of a book, you want to have something up on Amazon, or it goes deeper than that, you want to capture your legacy. You want to take all of that beautiful wisdom and knowledge out of your head and put it into a book. You capture it forever, and you share it with others for the better good. So this is kind of what I do. And we start there. We identify your purpose and your goals. We write a book hook. We tail your book to your ideal readers. We spend some time figuring out who those ideal readers are. And of course, those are the people that you, in your heart of hearts, most want to work with. We set the book tone. We find your voice. We create your outline, and then we set you up on your writing journey with, a plan for writing, and set you up with success. And this is kind of what I teach and what I do. But on the summit in March, I'm actually going to be going through my whole entire process for writing a book. So planning it and then writing it. And in the short space of about 40 minutes, I'm going to take you through that exact process that I take my clients through. And along with that, you'll get a guide that I call the Plan Well, Write Fast. It's actually like a little workbook that you can download and have with you as you watch my talk and actually start planning your book. And if you want to, you can actually go to planwellwritefast.com, and you can download that little book planner right now and actually get started anytime you like. So I'm super excited to see you in March, and I really hope that you'll join me there. And of course, sign up for all the other wonderful speakers. And as you've seen today, there's just so many women involved in the showcase this year, and they're just going to be talking about some incredible things. And I think if you can really set some time aside to attend as many of those workshops as you can, you're going to undergo some really powerful transformations. And whether you choose to write a book or not, I do hope that you think long and hard about that, what your life looks like in a few short years, and really just start to think about what you can do today to get yourself there. Because there's all kinds of routes that you can take. There's all kinds of ways that you can achieve those goals and fill those dreams and start living out your life's purpose. Writing a book is just one of them. But I think when you have it really clear in your mind where it is that you want to go, then you can figure out today how to get there. So I'm really excited to see you there in March.
Yay, Adrienne, that was beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I saw the chat going crazy, and we have a special guest somewhere here. So
Really?
is that true that your mama is watching us?
It's my mom. Oh my goodness, there she is. Hi, Mom. That's hilarious. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love you, Mom. I always
Isn't it nice?
on TV and say, "Hi, Mom."
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see if we can bring her comment up.
Oh my gosh, that just made my day.
Here we are. Hi, Betty.
You. One day we're going to write your story.
And is it true you're bringing a book out next year?
Actually, yes. And I actually wanted to mention that too, because while I'm coaching my clients to write their books, I'm busy working on my own. So I'm kind of right there in the trenches with them right now and trying to finish that up by the end of the year. And then it will be launched sometime in the spring. So stay tuned for that. And I hope to have it ready or almost ready by the time the Thrive Talks happen. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Congratulations. I've been thinking about my own book for the longest time, and I'm like, I'm gonna write it, and we start, and then life happens.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the beauty of working with someone like yourself who helps you with the process, really refines your ideas, help you get really clear about what is it that you want to write, and also keeps you accountable, because I think everyone has a book in them, but not everyone gets to finish their book, and the accountability is massive.
Yeah, it is. And also just having a plan too. And I think that you have somebody to tell you this is what you need to do and when, then it just it takes a lot of that stress and pressure off. Just having a clear, solid plan and someone cheering you on too, because that's what I love to do, that kind of gentle accountability, cheering them on and keeping them going and helping them iron out the kinks. And when we inevitably run up against a roadblock or that darn internal editor.
Or imposter, right? We overthinking it.
Yeah.
And then releasing a book, and I think a lot of people give up right at the cusp of it. When it gets hard, when we start to question ourselves, and that's when people stop themselves from actually getting to the finishing line.
Yeah, and that is the saddest thing. I think that's because when we sort of step outside of ourselves, our message and the knowledge that we have, it's bigger than us. And I think that when women share all of that, the world benefits. And so, I think it's really important to kind of get that out and get it down on paper and put it out into the world so other people can benefit too.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said earlier, I love this. Adrienne, quoting you, a book is worth 1,000 marketing platforms.
Yes, that's what I always like to say. Yeah, and I think Maya Angelou said, I'm not getting her quote exactly correctly, but she said something along the lines of that there's no greater agony than having an untold story inside of you. And that's my mission and my purpose for being in a nutshell, is to get that untold story out and to, prevent that agony from ever happening. So I think that's just such a beautiful quote. Yeah.
I think that's why you're here, because we share that mission of sharing women's stories in whatever capacity that goes. Just creating opportunities for women to share their stories and how important it is to do that. So thank you for doing what you're doing.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me on today.
Good to see you. Thank you. Wow. Oh my goodness. As you see, so many diverse topics that we get to hear from and about today. So many amazing women from all walks of life, different experiences, different perspectives, and so much you can learn because there's not just one thing that gets you to success. It's not just one thing that's going to propel you to that next stage. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's social media, maybe it's partnerships, collaborations, maybe it's coaching your kids to be more resilient and or creating your own resilience in life. There are so many different topics that we get to speak on this stage. And the Women Thrive Summit is our annual women empowerment event. And we talk about many things, including business, entrepreneurship, personal healing, growth, personal development, as well as love and relationships and children. I think, this stage is really unique because we don't just focus on one area. And we always talk about this, that we as individuals, we're a multifaceted individuals that have different things that played a part of being successful. It's not just one thing. And that's why I love to create diversity of topics on our stage, so you can really take a little bit of everything that you need in life to succeed and thrive. All right, next up, I have a wonderful speaker. I'm very excited to have her on our stage. So we got Wanda Lowell. Wanda Lowell McCall is the founder of My Power Place, is a faith-focused speaker and leading expert at helping introverted entrepreneurs reframe fear of judgment. As a mindset and storytelling coach, she helps them become confident communicators and course creators. Wanda, hello.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, so good to see you.
You
I
doing?
always light up when I get to hear from you, and I love having your voice on our platform. So, yeah.
So excited. And I'm just really honored to be amongst so many amazing women. So I'm excited about what's going to be happening in March and how we are really going to unlock so many things for women. Like 2024, quoting Pastor Mike, is going to be big.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's go. Wanda, over to you. Can't wait to hear from you.
Hey, well, ladies, I want to tell you, if you have not noticed that there is something shifting in the water, and that probably could be you. As we look at the landscape of women in business and just business in particular in the corporate world, and especially in entrepreneurship, there are so many women looking to start a business. And one of the spaces that women are really growing is this area of coaching and service-based businesses. And so what brings me to speak a little bit about why it's so important to tap into who you are. Temperament, soul, body, and spirit is all about this shift. Now, looking at the numbers of women who are really growing entrepreneurship and business, we have to look at another number. This number is 48. It's about 48% of women in the business world consider themselves to be not only super creative and insightful, but somewhat introverted. So that's me, Wanda Lavelle, your mindset and storytelling coach. I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards strategist going into 2024 because I love to help women understand that they can do this thing in coaching and in business their way. So in March, I invite you to my talk, Her Voice, Her Way, the Introverted Woman's Guide to Being a Dynamo in the coaching industry. Now, I may have added a little bit of fluff to that because I like some fluff and some glitter on it, but I can't wait to share with you how you are matched for the next move in the coaching industry. And so, how did I get to this spot? Well, I've always been a person in the compassion space, in ministry and in nursing. Always found myself that natural coach and counselor, even on the playground in high school. I was the kid always sharing the insight. Didn't have a lot, but I knew how to talk a good game, right? Anybody else in the room? You've always been that healer, that counselor, even from when you were setting up the teddy bears around your table. You were always that natural teacher, right? So what happens for us when we are introverted in this new space is that sometimes some of our gifting becomes a setback. We become very analytical, right? We overthink. We like perfection, right? And so that slows us down, and we want to go to doing the work that keeps us behind the scenes, being that Girl Friday. I like to say that I've always been the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, doing all the things. But now in this season, when you're feeling called to grow into developing this business and really expanding your voice, you need to learn how to reframe this introverted giftedness and this quiet calm. And so during this talk in March, I'm going to be sharing with you how to reframe some of those things that you may have seen as a little bit of a setback or maybe a weakness. Your analytical skills helps you to really go into coaching specifically as a dynamo, meaning that you are the expert when it comes to one-to-one connection. You listen to understand and to help transform. You don't listen to respond. And people want to feel seen and heard. Now, why is this important? Because we have AI, we have tech, we have a lot of people who look exactly the same in the coaching industry. And so this is why 2024 and beyond is the perfect platform for my quiet bosses and creatives and service providers, because you're going to stand out with these skills. You may be slow moving, but it's for a purpose. You're going to be bringing greater knowledge and insight to the people you serve. What I found in my journey was that I needed to learn how to take what I was doing for others and really employ it in what God was calling me to do. And that is a little bit of a transition when you are a quiet servant. You always show up in places serving everybody, and it gets uncomfortable for the spotlight to be on you. But I want you to know that you can have your cup of coffee, your comforter, and your way too. You don't always have to be all the things in all the places. And there is a way to share your genius specifically to how your temperament is designed. So I can't wait to see you in March. I want you to bring your journals. I want you to bring your notepads, right? Your recording materials. We don't record on cassettes. It was so funny. Dawn, I was like, I have a couple of cassettes right in their kitchen right now. I want you to bring your smart devices, and I want you to take notes from these amazing women who are going to be on this summit. And if you identify with being that quiet one that knows that they have something powerful to share, but you don't know how to navigate your temperament, I'm going to be the person to help you and walk you along that path. There are ways for you to use your personal story to create content, to make connections, and even to speak without the fear of energy drain. And that's a lot of what we fear sometimes. Why do I have to show up? Why do I have to go live? Why do I have to do this, do that? But there are ways that you can do this and still honor who you are as an introvert. So I can't wait to see you. Back to you.
What can I just say? My cheeks hurt from smiling, and I'm just looking for that button to press, like heart, 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 but I don't have that button. Where is it?
We need that feature so they can scroll up.
Like on the StreamYard platform, there is no heart. So I press it. And you know what happened? I don't know if you noticed it, but when you said "and strategist," your screen just lit up. Did you notice that?
I noticed that. I was like, I had to look back over and get some awareness. I'm like, not only do I let you think and develop the answers and find the answers that are inside you already, if you're too slow, I'm like, hey, all right, week 2, we're doing this, and you're going to do that. Because I understand with our temperament, sometimes it's a slow process and we don't want to lose that time. So while you're processing and thinking deeply, I'm going to give you this to do.
You're the catalyst, you're the driver. Like, let's go.
Let's go. I've wasted all that time for you. We don't want to waste any more time.
That's right. There's no time to waste in
Yes,
2024. I mean, thinking about it, we're nearly in 2025. Like,
right,
what? Like, what
right.
is going on?
We're halfway through the decade already.
I know. And you know what? Your dreams and goals are not going to wait on you.
Yes.
That's the urgency, really, to get on with it, because it's those dreams. I don't know if you've read a book, The Big Magic, where it says, your dreams have been assigned to you. And if you
Mhm.
miss that moment, it'll be passed on to somebody else. And you can't miss that
Absolutely.
magical moment.
Hmm. And I believe that too. I believe that.
Mm, yeah. What are you excited about for next year, Wanda?
Well, when I was thinking about writing the article, and I was like, what can I talk about that came from my own experience? And it was really my last evaluation, because I still put on my nursing super cape from time to time, part time. And it was the disadvantages of being so gifted in the workplace and not learning how to speak up for yourself. So the income, the lifetime of what you'll make as an introvert in the corporate space and in healthcare is a lot lower than the extrovert, yet you have some of the most amazing leadership skills. So I would love to speak at organizations and in the corporate setting about tapping the power of introverts in the workplace for leadership.
Wow. How magical is that? Seeing the superpower in people, that perhaps are not as extroverted and not as loud as everybody else, yet they bring the most amazing ideas and magical creativity to the table. If only you take the time to look at it and spot the talent.
Yes.
Mm.
And I think we're not accustomed to that. I don't think a lot of leadership is used to doing that. It's usually what we say, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? The loudest person, but it
Mm.
doesn't mean they have the best ideas. They're not always the most transformational when it comes to leadership. And so, yeah, being able to spot that and be that transformational leader and pull that out of a person will really benefit companies and organizations.
I love that. Well, Wanda, that's what I wish for you for next year, to keep doing your transformational work and inspiring other people with your beautiful talks. I look forward to seeing you at a summit in 2024.
Yes.
Thank you, Wanda.
Thank you, right?
Oh my goodness, so much beautiful, so many beautiful speakers on today's stage. I'm excited because I see more amazing voices lining up in the green room. I just want to have a little check-in. How are you all doing? How are you feeling? Are you feeling inspired, motivated? And if you haven't yet, I want you to go ahead and click share button. Share it with your social media followers. Maybe people will get to join us live right now and catch the rest of this showcase. We're still here for another hour. Or perhaps they get to watch this on replay. You've seen how many amazing speakers that you got here on the showcase. International caliber speakers, women who have achieved great successes in their professional careers as well as in business. So check-in time. Let me know. How are you feeling? Abigail says, very inspired. Mary says, regretfully I must leave this wonderful event. Thank you for sharing your treasures. Thank you so much for being here. But I still see lots of people watching us on social media. And you might be watching this on somebody else's feed that's streaming right now. Say hello. Leave us a comment, because we may not see that you're watching us right now until you hop on in the chat. So I encourage you to do that right now. Ooh, who we got next? Okay, next we're headed over to our next speaker, who is Shetali Desai, a business success mentor and a catalyst for women who desire it all: purpose, power, and prosperity. Her mission is to assist female entrepreneurs and high achievers in amplifying their voice, igniting their fire, and breaking through societal conditioning to become unapologetically empowered. Shetali, good to see you.
Hi, Ramanda. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. This has been
Thank
so
you.
I love listening to all the speakers.
Yeah. Thank you. I can't wait to see your talk today. Over to you.
Oh, goodness. So I'm so excited to be going right now, especially after Wanda and what Wanda was sharing. Again, I'm Chaitali Desai. I'm a business and success mentor. I am a 5-2 sacral manifesting generator. And if you just heard that and were like, what is that? Stay tuned. I've got you. So my mission is to help empower women to take up space, to stand up and say, hey, I'm here. And to step into their purpose so that they can prosper. Whatever prosperity means for you, perhaps it's money, perhaps it's continuing to climb the corporate ladder. Perhaps you're a stay-at-home mom who is the CEO of her house and you just haven't stepped into that identity yet. Today, I want you to understand that this is our one life. It is not a dress rehearsal. We get to do what we want. The question is, have you decided to take the action to go after your dreams? For so many people, that first step is the scariest because there's uncertainty behind it. Yeah. You know that if you go to university, you'll get a job in that field. But sometimes when we are going after our dreams, there's this palpable energy behind it, a little bit nerve-wracking, a little exciting, slightly daunting. And as you're listening to me and you're saying, I know that you're pulling up that dream that's been in your heart that perhaps you haven't fully gone after yet. And you're picturing what to do next. How am I going to get there? Well, I shared that I'm a 5-2 sacral manifesting generator. My 5-2 in human design, I'm able to take all these big topics and distill them into easy, practical, tactical steps to help you. And I have created the CEO Business and Lifestyle Planner that I would love to gift you. In that, it will help you step in and bring out your inner CEO. Because no matter what you are doing, whether you are a stay-at-home mom like I used to be, someone climbing the corporate ladder, an entrepreneur building her business, you get to wear that CEO identity. And that shift starts here. So in the planner, not only are you going to find loads of gifts, you're going to get 2 hypnosis tracks. One, to help you become unapologetically confident, because it is internal game first, then it's an external. And deep sleep hypnosis, because as any good CEO knows, we need our rest to replenish, to rejuvenate, to recover. In the journal, you'll also be able to get prompts for your human design type, because we don't all operate with the same program, so to speak. You will get to take the vision from your mind and put it down on paper or your digital paper. And then I'll show you how to reverse engineer it so that you can start taking steps to being the CEO of your life. And in March, I am going to be speaking about how to shatter the glass ceiling of the good girl mentality to grow and scale financially. Because it is that good girl mentality that's keeping so many of us behind, keeping us playing small. I had a colleague recently say to me, it's so hard to watch individuals sometimes because we can see the potential in you. And I want you to be one of those women who not only saw the potential in herself, but allowed the rest of us to see it. Your gifts are needed. And the time is now. I don't want you to get to the end of your life and then feel like, okay, now I can go do it. Because by then, we don't know. The time is now. So I'm going to drop my link for the CEO Business and Lifestyle Planner. And if you're listening and you're thinking, well, I'm not an entrepreneur, please remember this. You are the CEO of your life. The decisions you make on a day-to-day basis, are they working for you or are they working against you? Allow the planner to become your North Star, guiding you to your dreams. So thank you again. I am Chaitali Desai, and I am so excited for March. I cannot wait for you guys to not only hear my talk, which I know you're going to want to sign up for because it's going to be feisty and it's going to get you through that glass ceiling, but to also hear all of the other amazing speakers. I love the parallels of life and business, CEO. Oh, yes, because what we do in one aspect of our life, we do everywhere. I don't believe in boxes. And the more you can practice, the more you can step in and allow your inner CEO to step forward. Can you imagine the difference in your life and the ripple effect, the lives of those who you're in touch with, that you're raising? So the link again is going to be in the chat. And thank you so much. I cannot wait for you guys to come in March.
Yay, Chaitali, love your message, breaking that good girl mentality and breaking through a glass ceiling. There's so many beautiful messages in there, and I'm really excited actually about your talk in March. What do you think will be the biggest transformation for those who are attending the summit and your talk?
Oh, goodness. I think it's going to be the permission slip to take up space. As women, we are natural givers, and we give and we give and we give. And we forget that we can also give to ourselves, and we get to take up space in life, in business, in romance, relationships, doesn't matter. And I think that's the biggest thing, to go after your dreams with that tenacity.
I love that. I love that. Permission slip to take up space. Yeah, it's so, so beautiful. You know, last year we had a speaker, or this year we had a speaker on a stage who would be quite apologetic all the time. And I used to joke with her that said, you know, next time you say sorry, I'm gonna give you a link to a sorry jar. And on the summit, by the time summit came around, she stopped apologizing because I would call her out so much about it. That she became very self-aware of apologizing for taking her space. And I set up a link to a sorry jar for donations to charity for £5 for those who apologize for taking up space.
100%. You know, it's so easy for us to apologize for being.
Yeah.
And I don't want that for the rest of our lives. And I definitely don't want it for the next generation. But it starts with us. It starts with us deciding enough.
And that's why we do what we do with the women empowerment work.
Yeah.
And it really, truly has to run throughout, from the depths of yourself, from the makeup of you, from the organization that you're creating, from the community, how you communicate with each other, how you communicate with yourself and your children. I mean, it has to really be all across the board. If you're apologetic in one place and not empowered at home, you can't be empowered at work, right? So it has to be all truly aligned. And I absolutely love your message and your mission as well. So if anybody's looking to connect with Chaitali, please make sure you follow her, connect with her on her website, and do make sure you tune into her talk as well at the summit. Thanks, Chaitali. Lovely to see you here today. Amazing. Wow, we've got a few more amazing speakers lined up today. Keep that energy going. I've seen you ladies sharing this live. I was just like having a little peek on social media, and I think we just doubled the views that we had earlier. So congratulations. If you're watching this live right now, leave a comment below. Let us know where in the world you're joining from. I'd love to see you. Oh, the Superwoman Symphonium. Hello, hello. Good to see everyone. So, welcome. We've still got some more amazing speakers. I'm so excited. Let's keep the energy going. This is the last showcase of the year. So, let's finish the year strong. Let's celebrate our wins. Let's celebrate the voices of women and their stories. Now, we are headed to see our next speaker. Next speaker is Dr. Sola Togin-Butler, and who is the founder and CEO and certified professional life coach at Transformative Coaching and Consulting. She empowers women to go from burnout to balance by using realistic self-care tools that fit their busy schedule. Dr. Sola, good to see you, and the beautiful butterflies behind you.
Good to see you as well. As you can tell, I love butterflies. That just symbolizes transformation. So butterflies have a very special place in my heart.
I love your like colorful background. It makes it always like almost inviting to your space virtually. So I love hanging out with you.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I believe in making our living environment our own just because we spend so much time there. So I spent a lot of time in my office. So I wanted to make my office my own. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Over to you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Sola Togin-Butler. I am a licensed clinical therapist and a certified professional life coach. And I empower women to go from burnout to balance by using realistic self-care toolkits that fit their busy schedule. So over the years of being a mental health professional, I noticed that a lot of women would struggle with burnout. They had a lot on their plate. They felt overwhelmed, and it was very difficult for them to set healthy boundaries. So when I did research on stress management programs, burnout prevention programs, it became very evident to me that a lot of those programs were not meeting the specific needs of women because they were not focusing on particular areas that were very important. And one of the areas I want to talk about today is our emotional health. So a lot of these programs were not focusing on emotional health. And the reality is that if we do not stay on top of our emotional health, we could be on that path to burnout. So emotional health is extremely important. Now, you might ask, what is emotional health? So emotional health is an awareness of your emotions. So you're able to name your emotions, you're able to identify where you feel them in your body, and then you are able to exhale or release those emotions in a healthy way. Now, if we do not stay on top of our emotional health, we could potentially burn out. Now, when we look at emotions, one thing I always share with my clients is that the E is next to motion. So that means that the emotions are going to move. So what we want to do is we want to learn how to be the pilot so we can get on top of our emotions and channel those emotions in a healthy way. And that is why emotional health is so important. Because the reality is that we live in a society where we have been taught that there are positive emotions and then there are negative emotions. And then I come here to tell you that there's no such thing as negative emotions. All emotions are good. So if we look at the emotions that are classified as negative, anger gets a bad rap. Jealousy, shame, guilt are often labeled as negative emotions. Now, I tell my clients that all emotions are good because emotions are storytellers. They're there to tell you a story. And if you push an emotion away because you say to yourself, I cannot feel this way, then you are not listening to the emotion, the story that the emotion is trying to tell you. You are pushing away the story. So we want to welcome emotions without judgment. So I'm not going to judge the emotion. I welcome the emotion to understand the story behind it. Why am I angry? Why am I feeling guilty? Why am I feeling shame? There's always a story behind that. And once we know what that story is, then we can decide what we want to do with that story in a healthy way. Now, an example that I give is two songs that are great examples of the artist welcoming the emotion. So the first one is Billie Holiday. So I love Billie Holiday, and she has a song called Good Morning Heartache. So whenever I listen to that song, the first thing I say to myself is that Billie Holiday is welcoming heartache. So she's telling heartache to come in, and she actually says, sit down. That's a great example of processing an emotion. She's not pushing heartache away. She's saying, come in, let me hear the story that you're trying to tell me. Another group that I like is Simon and Garfunkel. So I'm a child of the 70s. I was born in the 70s. So I grew up with my parents listening to Simon and Garfunkel. And there's a song called Hello Darkness, My Old Friend. So again, what he's doing in that moment is saying, oh, you're here again. Come on in. What's going on? Let's sit with this. Let's process this. Let's know the story. And then how do we release this in a healthy way? So I always teach my clients, welcome emotions. Do not push them away because emotions will move regardless. Remember, the E is next to motion, so it's going to move. So what are some of the consequences when we don't stay on top of our emotional health? So people report increased anxiety and depression. So persistent feelings of sadness. They feel like they're in this black hole they can't get out of. They talk about worrying. They talk about fear. They talk about dread. Again, they're not staying on top of their emotional health. Another thing that you notice is what I call negative outlook. So you have a lot of negative thought patterns. And as a result, your outlook tends to be negative. Nothing is going well for me. Everything is hopeless. I'm not going to get through this. That tends to happen when we're not processing our emotional health. And not to mention the impact it has on our interpersonal relationships. So if I'm not staying on top of my emotional health, I'm definitely not recognizing the emotions of others. So I'm less emotionally intelligent when I am overwhelmed. When I feel like I'm exhausted emotionally, I'm overwhelmed emotionally. So I'm not present for myself. I'm not present for others. And then lastly, when we are not taking care of our emotional health, we do not show ourselves self-compassion. We're not compassionate to ourselves. We're not empathetic. We notice a lot of self-defeating thoughts, and we're definitely not compassionate and empathetic towards others in our lives. So those are the consequences of not staying on top of our emotional health and how that could put us on the path to burnout. So one thing I tell my clients to do is to wave your emotions. Waving your emotions is a great way to process them. So what is wave? So the W stands for welcoming your emotion. The A stands for attend to your emotion. The V stands for validate the emotion. And the E stands for exhaling the emotion in a healthy way. So if you would like to know more about how to wave your emotions, if you would like to know more about my coaching program, then I want to ask you to join my free Facebook group, which is called Burnout to Balance, Women's Community for Self-Care and Wellness, where we share a lot of amazing tips on what you can do every single day to stay on top of your mental health. I would love for you to join the group, and I would love to see you at the summit. There's a lot of great speakers with a lot of wonderful information to share, and I'm so excited to be a part of that summit because it is all about women empowering other women so we can be who we want to be. So thank you again for listening to my talk, and hopefully I'll see you at the summit and in the Facebook group.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Sola. What a dynamic talk. I appreciate it. And such an important topic as well, especially this time of the year. I think there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of stress and anxiety, and everyone processing it differently. So I think this was very, very beautiful reminder of just how to handle those situations. Thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you at the summit.
Well, thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes, yes. How are you all doing? Some wonderful talks today, and we've got our next guest up shortly. But in the meantime, drop a comment below. Let me know how you're feeling, how you're enjoying this. If you haven't shared this live stream yet, do that now. We've still got 4 amazing speakers lined up for the rest of this event. And it's nearly 10 o'clock or not 9:30 here in Spain. And I'm still like super jazzed up. And I'm really looking forward to the rest of our speakers today. All right. So without further ado, I want to bring on our next speaker, who is Carmen. Carmen Paredes. Hi, Carmen. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Nice to see you.
I'm excited to see you, Carmen. So, Carmen is joining us from Alaska. Just want to throw it out there. So, Carmen is a dynamic public speaker, best-selling author, leadership transformation expert for tech and telecom, empowering profit growth through leadership development for women, focusing on turnover reduction, um, elevating employee engagement, and cultivating high-performance teams. Carmen, of course, you're also an author at the Women Thrive event book. And we just got to see each other recently in Spain. How are you doing, first of all?
Oh my God, I miss Spain so much. It was amazing to get to meet you in person, my co-authors and other speakers that are here with us today. And the weather was amazing. And I came back to a lot of snow, like a lot of snow.
A lot of snow, but it's that time of the year, hibernation. So I hope you're enjoying the snuggles in the house.
I am, and I'm very excited to share with everybody here a little bit about me. And I know there might be confusion. Yes, I changed my name as
I
a
know.
story for another day, but still fire up as always.
I know, as I had to pause there. I was about to say your name. I was like, hold on, I don't know even how to pronounce your new name. How do we
Paredes,
pronounce your
dear.
name?
Paredes. It's like
Paredes.
parade with an S. Yes.
Yeah, I thought so, but it threw me off for a second. Anyway, Carmen, over to you. Look forward to hearing from you today.
Thank you. So thank you for having me. As always, it's an honor to be here. And I'm standing here in front of you as a leadership transformation expert, someone who has not only witnessed the highs and lows of corporate life, but also have navigated the often turbulent waters of entrepreneurship and leadership. I want to take you on a little journey with me today, a journey through my own experience, from my own lenses, a journey that spans over 2 decades of corporate leadership. And yes, I climbed the ladder, I achieved the success, and I made it to the top. But amid the victories and the accolades, there was a silent battle being fought within me, a battle that led me to crash, burn, and burn out. I want you to understand that my burnout story had nothing to do with the corporate life. Instead, it was the consequence of not having the necessary skills to cope with the immense pressure, self imposed expectations, and the constant programming that went on, and on around me against my authentic self. I share this with you today because I believe that just like me, there's so many women out there that simply don't know what they don't know. And in the pursuit of success, you might lose sight of your values and the things that are most important to you, as I did. And I had the best intentions, but I have to say the execution to the success was flawed. I carried wounds that needed to be healed, wounds that I chose to camouflage and bury very deep inside of me. And in that, I became a workaholic, surrendering to the norms of society and the way it glorifies overworking. If you follow me for a minute, you know that I say that workaholism is a socially accepted drug. And it's encouraged by many because it pays well and it aligns with all types of societal expectations. But I have a question for you. If you agree with me that we come to this world to grow, expand, and heal, how does numbing your pain with whatever way or fashion is contributing to your purpose? I stand here today not just as a speaker, but as a testament to the fact that healing is possible. My journey was about acknowledging those buried wounds inside of me and finding the courage to heal them. And now I am here to share with you those insights because I believe that it can help you be successful without burning out. I am so passionate about two things that I do. One is to helping women in positions of power and leadership, whether in the corporate world or in your own business, so you can break free from the cycle and start the ripple effect of healing in the world. I am also very excited to empower companies to equip their leaders with the right skills for success, because success in the right way will positively influence the life of the people around you. I believe our workplaces, our businesses, and our society needs transformation. They need leaders who are not just successful in paper, but they are fulfilled, balanced, and authentic. And this is why I focus on developing women in leadership, reducing turnover because nobody likes to be jumping from place to place, increasing productivity, and eliminating burnout. So we can create a culture that fosters not only success, but also well-being. I want to close my statement by challenge each of you to reflect on your own journey and ask you a question. Are you living in alignment with your values? Are you nurturing your well-being and the well-being of those around you? And if not, it is time to embark on a transformation journey, and we can do that together for the benefit of yourself, of your family, of those that are around you, your companies, and your business. I want to invite you to come to my talk at the Women's Drive Summit in March, where I'm going to be sharing with you the strategies to creating success without burning out. But don't just come from me because you've seen it. There is a sea of amazing women sharing empowering messages that will transform your life. So come join us at the summit in March. And in the meantime, let's connect in LinkedIn. You can find me with Carmen Paredes. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you. And I love how you guys just celebrating each other. This is what this whole community is about. You're like, don't just come for me, come for my sisters too.
Yeah. I mean, you pair it. I mean, I'm always so humble and impressed and amazed to share a stage with so many amazing women. Everyone here, it's such a high caliber, and it's an honor to be here.
Yeah. And I miss those hugs and cuddles we had in Valencia.
We'll have more next year.
For sure. We'll be traveling the world and doing all of these amazing things in person. We surely have more events coming up. Carmen, yes, we do have to have a celebration party for your name change. And congratulations on that. And I'm really excited about your talk and having you just part of this journey. You're truly amazing and inspirational woman.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much to Carmen. And we've got 3 more speakers. 3. Amazing. I am excited. I'm so excited to invite our next speaker. It seems like we've begun the journey with talking a little bit more about motherhood and children, and now we're moving towards more professional and career-based talks. Now, let's move to our next speaker, Jessica Rice, who's the CEO of Jessica Rice Coaching. She's a speaker, the host of Hello You Show, and a certified ICF high performance and transformational coach. She's focused on helping visionary leaders and entrepreneurs reach extraordinary and meaningful goals. Jessica, good to see you. Welcome.
Thank you so much. So good to see you today as well. And I'm just so inspired listening to all these amazing women. And you're right, there is this kind of shift now. We're really talking about leadership and professional women and how we can show up for ourselves. It's great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Jessica, over to you.
Thank you so much. Well, as I was announced, my name is Jessica Rice, and I am the founder of Jessica Rice Coaching, and I work with women leaders to really evolve their leadership to get ready for that kind of next shift and next transformation that they are looking to create, which is what I wanted to talk with you about today. Today, what I'm going to say is there comes a point in our lives, in our journey, when we come up in our careers, our businesses, and we're starting to ask ourselves, what's next? What is really next for us? And how do I take this kind of next leap for myself so that you don't feel like you're stagnating, but you're really wanting to grow into what it is that you want to create for your future, for your legacy. And sometimes that can feel like we're just standing on this precipice and we don't know how to bridge the gap. And oftentimes that can be as a result of boxing ourselves in. We are only looking at the finite skills and expertise and education that are, based on what's important on paper, but we're forgetting all of our experiences, our expertise, the challenges and the struggles that have got us to this point. We are forgetting ourselves and who we are and all that makes us important and unique and special. In my own journey, those are the types of things that I had forgotten so much for myself, and then had to start piecing back together to remember and realize how I could move forward in my own career journey, and then really taking that next big leap for myself. And I didn't realize that some of the experiences that I'd had would be the very experiences that gave me the strength and tenacity to continue to push forward. See, I didn't understand that the experience of being in an abusive relationship in my early 20s would give me the personal resilience that I so needed in my corporate job, in my leadership role. I also didn't understand that having a chronic health condition that led to a near-death experience in my late 20s would also give me the fervor and the drive to do something greater in my life and live with purpose and passion and meaning. I also didn't realize that some of the smaller experiences that I'd had, working multiple jobs while putting myself through college, waiting tables late into the evening, would give me the skills to be able to speak to many different people at many different levels. I also didn't realize that even having a tough dad would give me the ability to walk up to my CEO and deliver my ideas so that I was valued and I was heard, because I'd already been taught that we put our pants on the exact same way. Oftentimes we excuse the experiences that we've had because they feel like trauma. They're the weight on our back. And we don't realize that they're also the things that we've gotten through, and they give us that strength and courage. And once I started to recognize that within myself, it also gave me the ability to recognize and make tough decisions moving forward. It enabled me to recognize that my son, he wasn't thriving in school. And so I had to make a tough decision to bring him home and homeschool him and help his neurodivergent thinking while I was still in my corporate leadership role and building my business on the side. It also enabled me to be able to make the tough and bold decision to walk away from my corporate job so that I can build my business and help other people and still homeschool my son. When we start to think about all of the things that make us who we are, bring us together, and give us those unique qualities that only we have, can we start to make that shift of awareness, not only into what we bring today, but where we can start heading in the future? I work with women leaders who have reached a certain point in their corporate careers, in their businesses, where they're looking for that next level journey. They're looking to create that North Star for themselves and how they can really bridge the gap to get there. And that's what I'll be talking about more so in my talk at the Women's Thrive Summit in March 2024. We'll be talking about how you elevate and harness your experiences, your expertise, your passions, your purpose, so that you can reach your higher calling. And in that process, we'll be talking about how you can develop a strategic and personal roadmap to get you across that bridge so that you are walking into the trajectory of your future and whatever that next North Star looks like for you. I'll also be sharing more of my journey, more of the story that I shared a little bit and just touched on, as well as different tips and techniques so that you can start recognizing and owning your authentic voice and how you show up in your role and create your next life, your legacy, and what that looks like for you. I am just so inspired to be here and be a part of this amazing summit with all of these amazing women. As you can clearly see, it's truly a pleasure to be sharing a stage with such remarkable talent and wisdom. So really thank you for joining me and coming. And I really hope you can join me at Women's Thrive Summit in March 2024. I look forward to seeing you more there. So thanks so much for having me.
Jessica, thank you. Thank you so much for your message today, for being such inspiring women and encouraging others to also think about their own self-leadership and how they show up, how we lead in our own lives and not just professional careers. I think it makes a huge difference to talk about personal leadership as well. And without realizing, I think we don't realize that role that we play in our lives as well. Jessica, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom today.
Thank you.
Wow. I look forward to seeing many of you join our Women Thrive Summit in March. This is our annual women empowerment event that happens third week of March every year. And this is to celebrate Women's History Month. I hope you get to save your spot. Head over to womenthrivesummit.com and join our waiting list. Just a few days ago, we just released a brand new website for Women Thrive Summit. And there you'll find other opportunities, such as being part of our book, contributing your chapter, your story to our incredible book. This year, we released 2 amazing books featuring 8 authors in each book, and their stories have been impacting the lives of others. We've also hosted in-person events in Valencia a few weeks ago where we got to meet our incredible speakers and authors, and one of the speakers you'll get to meet next. There are so many opportunities within the Women Thrive community, and next year we have even more amazing and exciting things for you to be part of the community, to participate more. So do make sure you leave your email address with us, and so you can receive updates and information about these incredible opportunities that we have on our platform. All right, next up, I'm excited to catch up with Michelle. Michelle was here in Spain just a few weeks ago, and Michelle Perrott is an intuitive guide for conscious leaders, an international best-selling author, and a speaker. She's known for Your Brilliance archetype guides and the Cell method, a spiritual philosophy which has helped empower her clients to build businesses that align with their passion towards self-actualization. Michelle, hello, welcome to see you. Good to see you.
So nice to see you. I'm so glad to be here.
Where are you tuning in from today?
Today I am back in New York City. I was in Portugal for a couple of weeks. Went to an amazing breathwork retreat that I'm so excited to share with you, probably behind doors. But yes, it's always good to take a little bit of time to yourself and recalibrate. So
yeah, amazing. Well, it certainly was very good to see you in Valencia and see you on stage at Thrive Talks. And now we get to see you here on the virtual stage to our global audience. So over to you, Michelle.
Thank you so much. So my talk in March is called Transitioning from Soul-Sucking Work over to Selling Your Brilliance. And so mostly I am talking to the person who is looking to become an entrepreneur or already is steadfast on their path, maybe a couple years in. And in addition to calling myself an intuitive guide and a business strategist, I like to also position myself as a rebirthing angel, so to speak. And so I really help people to, in a way, leave behind the old version of themselves, leave behind the persona that they had created or crafted about what they think their business should look like, about what they think they should be doing or not doing, and really examine truly who they are from a heart perspective, not from a perspective of what other people projected onto them or what their experiences showed them about, who they should be, what kind of role they should have. And so I find that a lot of people start on the path and get super excited. They jump right in, including myself. And, you know, there's a lot of obstacles on the way. And so I want to, you know, shorten the time frame, shorten the time gap that it takes to ultimately, you know, eventually get to where you want to be. And the way to really do that is to go through a very personal process of understanding what you're really here to do and who you're here to serve. And it sounds like it could be easy, like, you know, it's just a little bit of market research, but to do it really in a way that's super aligned is, it takes some time to look through, you know, some of the tools, to do an evaluation of all of your experiences through life, you know, the traumas, the celebrations, the hero's journey ultimately, right? So what have you overcome, and what have you observed in your life that needs to transform? You know, what are the relationships that, you know, didn't necessarily go well, and what did you learn from that? What are the systems that need to be dismantled and put back together, right? And so the people that I tend to work with are really here to make a global impact by developing something that is entirely new. And so when you're creating something that's entirely new, you cannot go into you know, other programs, many of which I've been a part of, that give you a formula, that give you an XYZ, and you can't look at your competitors as well to get a sense of what you should be doing. You need to get into a position of connecting more deeply with your higher self. So I definitely go into a lot of energy strategy, a lot of methodology around curating your own self-leadership and understanding what decisions you really need to make without leaning too heavily on people from the outside to tell you what's right and wrong. And navigating that is really, really important for making the right steps in your business. And so I had a beautiful journey and my own tribulations that I really go deeper into the book, Success with Source, you know, including, and I will, you know, disclose fully, even though I had, you know, 10 years plus of healing experience and all these tools at my disposal, you know, I got into the entrepreneurial path and I got sick. I had this esophageal disease, and ultimately you can see I'm fine now, but it really, really stemmed from some underlying you know, historical issues that I was not even aware of that ended up coming to the surface when I started on this path. And so these are important things to understand, is the connection between your body, your spirit, your soul, and what you're here to pursue, because they're all really interrelated. And so my body at that point in time was really signaling to me that I was on the wrong path, that I was going in the wrong direction as far as the decisions I was making, the work that I was doing, even though I knew that I had the right vision in place, but I was all over the place in terms of, you know, going to different voices, going to different mentors, and asking them what I should or shouldn't be doing. And so this is really my call to you to start curating that relationship with yourself. Start really listening to what your body has to say, because there's always clues that are there along the way. And start the exploration process of looking at different tools, you know, beyond the personality tests, but really understanding what your design is, how you're here to operate, in addition to your role and who you're truly here to serve. And so I'm super excited to be sharing more in depth about how you can really hone in on your gifts. And I'm excited to also share with you my archetype guide, which you can download from my website. And that is another way that you can get a better understanding of whether you're, for example, an educator versus a builder, whether you're meant to be a thought leader or you're meant to be a CEO executive. All of these things are really important in terms of how you show up within your business and how you want to then leverage other people, other team members, other collaborators who have different gifts and different archetypes that they are, to then support you in bringing about your mission. So super excited to connect with you, and yeah, just reach out if you have any questions.
Amazing. Michelle, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing so much wisdom with us. And also, do make sure you connect with Michelle if you are curious about your archetype. And I'm sure she'll give you all the information. Michelle, we look forward to seeing you at the summit in March.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Oh my goodness. One more speaker for this evening, this afternoon, depending where you're joining from. Are you still with me? Drop some hearts, drop some comments. Make sure we've got the drum roll for the last speaker to close out our final speaker showcase of the year. Yes, of 2023, as we head out into a new year, new opportunities, new events. And of course, we're getting closer to the Women Thrive Summit in March. Ooh, who's excited? Let's go. Still here, still here. Thank you so much. Right, next up, I'm so excited to invite Shelly Phillips. Shelly is a sweet tea sipping, sassy Southerner. She's a versatile entrepreneur and award-winning professional dedicated to reshaping today's workplace cultures for both employees and businesses to thrive. Michelle, welcome. I am having tiny bit of interference on your microphone just to make sure that nothing is touching it. That would be amazing. How are you, Shelly?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
Welcome. I'm excited to hear your talk. Over to you.
Yeah, I'm just excited to be able to dive into this fabulous world of professional success with you and everyone else listening. So, I want us to chat about the power of visibility and why crafting an intentional professional brand is your secret weapon to conquering the workplace. So, first off, why is visibility so crucial? Well, imagine that you're a dazzling star in the night sky. And if no one sees you, are you really shining as brightly as you could be? And that's what happens in the workplace. Being visible is like turning on your own personal spotlight. It's funny to me for my clients that I've had and everything, a lot of people tell me that being known as ambitious can be a downfall in the workplace. And I think that's something that we have to really work hard to change that perception, that being ambitious isn't a bad thing. It just shows that you're excited, that you want to continue your growth, you want to continue to learn, and that you want to continue to add value. So, when I'm working with clients, how do we add that visibility to what we're doing in the workplace so that we can actually get known for what we bring to the table? So, my tip number one for you is own your space, make your presence known. Don't be the best kept secret in the office. Make sure you're sharing your ideas, that you're speaking up in meetings, and that you're not afraid to shine. And remember, you're not just an employee. I love the story that came out many, many years ago. And it's you're the CEO of your own brand. And, I think it's really important that we take that and that we really take that to heart, that we are the CEO of us and that we're our most valuable asset out there. So, what we do and how we represent ourselves really, really matters. Your professional brand is like your signature scent. Everybody has that cologne or that perfume that they just love. And it's what makes you unique and memorable when you walk in the room. So that's how I want you to think about your personal professional brand. What is it that makes you memorable? What is it that's totally you that you bring to the table that no one else inside that organization does? It's not just about what you do, but how you do it. Are you a problem solver, the go getter, the creative genius? Whatever it is, make sure that people remember it. The other thing that you need to do is make sure that you're curating that presence online as well. You know, if you're looking for a new job, if you're in a place where you're trying to seek promotion, everybody's checking out LinkedIn. There's a lot of platforms out there, but LinkedIn is the one that as a professional that you really need to make sure has your best foot forward. It's like your digital storefront. You want to showcase your accomplishments, share your insights, make sure that you're being a resource for people in your industry to see that you're connected, that you're sharing information out there that's vital to getting things done. Let the world knows what makes you fabulous. It's like your own virtual power suit. So not every boss is going to be the champion of visibility. And I have a story in my own career that I'll share with you in just a moment that talks about this. Some of them are just too busy running the circus and chasing the monkeys to even realize that they have that amazing star right there with them. So if you don't advocate for yourself, if you're not showing up as your own cheerleader, I've got a tip for you. It's time that you do. Make sure that you're scheduling regular check-ins with your boss and don't be shy about discussing your achievements. I encourage everyone to kind of keep a running note in your phone or on your planner, whatever it is that you use, that keeps a list of your wins. Make it your brag file so that at the performance review times or when you have that time with your boss, you have an easy access to, oh, these are the things, because we forget what we did 10, 12, 18 months ago. And you want to show that you're the rock star employee, that you're the person getting things done for them. And if you're feeling a little extra bold, don't forget to tell them that you have aspirations and goals inside the organization. Let your boss know that you want to get there and let them talk about how can we plan this together to make it happen. It's like basically creating that roadmap for your success. I know it's not easy. Like I said, I had a bad boss. I made a career transition after being at the same organization for over 20 years. Our CEO resigned, a new one came in, and let's just say that person lacked a lot of people skills. And they made it very clear to me that my skills and talents weren't really valued or respected in the way that they were going to continue running that organization. And what I didn't realize at the time is how that affected me outside of the office as well. You know, you carry that away from you. When you have a sucky day at work, it goes home with you. So your spouse, your friends, your children, everybody's kind of impacted by that. And I really hadn't thought about it until that point in time about how one person in a leadership role could really impact my feelings of self worth. And it shook my confidence. Now, you may think as a speaker and an author and everything else, like, well, you don't have anything to not be confident about. But it's really amazing when the person that's in leadership makes you doubt those things, how it begins to overlap into other areas of your life. And you start to question, do I really have value? What is it that I'm not doing that I should be doing? And I'll tell you, even with a bookcase full of industry awards, you know, I had that moment of doubt where it was like, am I still of value? Am I still showing up, doing what I need to do? And is this the career that I need to stay in? So maybe you're like me and you hadn't realized how much our perceived value as a woman becomes intertwined with our career. So at the summit in March, at the Women's Thrive Summit, you're going to get to hear more about this journey and even learn how a box of fruity breakfast cereal gave me the kick in the pants I needed to become an advocate for myself. I want you to remember one more key takeaway, and that's no one can take away your value unless you give them the power. And the great thing about creating your professional brand is that you can take control of how you're perceived. Visibility is your magic wand in the professional world. Be seen, be heard, be unforgettable. I want you to craft your brand with intention. Advocate for yourself when needed, and watch as your career takes flight, just like that shooting star. Now, I want you to go out there. I want you to dazzle the world. I want you to make your mark. This is one of the best times of the year to be able to prepare for the next year that's coming up, 2024. Make it your best year, make it your year of promotion. And I want you to think of the workplace as your stage and that you are that headlining act. And again, I just can't wait to see you at the summit in March.
Oh, that's amazing, Shelly. You're making me dance and like, oh my
Yay.
God, that topic is really speaking to my heart as a visibility expert myself. Just owning your craft and shining your light, showing up authentically, unapologetically, and just being of service to other people is just so, so magical. All those things that you shared from your experience, and I can see the passion in you. I think we all deserve to be seen and to be seen for our uniqueness, for all the gifts that we bring into this world. What are you excited about for the year ahead?
Oh, so I'm just excited about opportunity. I think my word for the year is going to be visibility. Like I was talking about visibility here, and maybe it's going to be amplify. I haven't decided yet between the two. I really like amplify too, because, to me that says, hey, I'm on this journey. I'm showing up. I'm doing what I want to do, but I just want to make it bigger and louder, and I want to make more of an impact. And so I'm super excited about that. And I'm branching out into a new area for me. I've written 3 books, and they're all on career and professional success and everything. But I'm branching out into a kids area, talking about culture building. But this is going to be for 7 to 11-year-olds, and it's a detective series. It's a female detective lead in the kids' story, but she couldn't solve all the mysteries without the group of people that she has around her. So I think it's a celebration of starting people young, thinking about the value that other people bring to the table and how we're so much stronger together, and when we're working as a unit than we are when we're trying to do it all on our own.
Wow, so beautiful, so powerful. And in today's world where the connectivity is so prominent, but yet we feel so isolated, when we feel so alone. So I don't know whether the connectivity and this internet and the gadgets actually brought us closer or further apart. So it's just so important to remember that you can't replace real connection with other people and collaboration, and having a good old conversation. And just today I connected with someone who, on a first connection, when we connected on social media, I didn't get the impression of what her personality was like. And when we jumped on the call, I was like, oh my God, you're like the sweetest person ever. And the first time I received her message, I felt like, oh, maybe she's just pitching me, right? And when we connected, I was like, I actually want to work with this person. She is mega sweet. So we can't replace that human connection, right?
No, it's so important. That's what I tell some of the, I think that's what we lack a lot of time, is that we don't take the time to really focus on who's around us, and have those real conversations, and really find out, how can I be of service to you, and how can I, help you amplify what's going on in your life as well. Because, I tell my clients a lot of time that there is no limit to the bucket of success. Like, I don't have to hoard it and keep it to myself. And, like, when I help someone else achieve their dreams and their goals, they're gonna, it comes back to you in so many other kind of ways. And just to value what each person has that's unique about them and what they show up with every day is just so important.
Amazing. Thank you, Shelley. It's a pleasure to have you here, and I look forward to seeing you on the summit in March.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Good to see you. Good to see you. And this is it. This wraps up our event today, Unleashing the Power of Women's Voices by Women Thrive. My name is Ramonda Jan, and I have been your host. So sorry we missed Abigail today as my co-host, but I'm sure you'll get to meet her next year again. And of course, don't forget to tune in to Women Thrive podcast. So make sure you search Women Thrive podcast across all different platforms, as well as our YouTube channel, where you get to hear more amazing interviews with our speakers from the Women Thrive Summit. Next year, we're kicking off the year with some social media lives, so you will be able to catch us on these platforms more regularly, featuring our speakers from the summit. Of course, if you're interested in being part of our community, make sure you register at womenthrivesummit.com. There is information about the authorship and as well as our website just running across the screen right now. So make sure you visit, you share this with somebody else, because I'm sure there are other people who would love to be part of this. We have a global community of over 600,000 people who follow us across the board. And of course, this is such an opportunity to make connections. This is all about community, bringing people together, collaborating, creating this magic in this world. And honestly, celebrating people's wins, celebrating each other, seeing all these amazing women share their stories today on our stage has made me really emotional to think that together, when we come together, what happens is we can further our missions, we can further our reach, we can create bigger ripple effect. And in today's world, when things are moving so fast, and during this pandemic, when people have had to be really disconnected from each other, this is such a magical time to celebrate, to be together, to say, you matter. And I know in this environment, in today's world, it's so isolating to run your own business on your own. So I want to encourage you to head over to womenthrivesummit.com, register on our wait list, because next year we're launching our tickets to the Women Thrive Summit. We have free tickets. You'll be also able to upgrade to have more access to replays and access to some mentoring with our speakers. If you were here today, you would have seen how many amazing people we have involved in this production. It's mind-blowing. This year we had more than 1,000. Yes, 1,000 speaker applications. We spent 6 months interviewing our speakers, and there are 50 amazing speakers who are lined up for the next summit. They have made the cut. They have made the short list of this selection process, and they are here to share their magic. And what we ask you as an attendee is to participate, be part of this incredible event, support each other, share it with the world. It really means a lot. So, couple things before we leave. I wanted to celebrate our book. This year we published 2 amazing books, and if you haven't already got your copy, head over to Amazon and grab yourself a Women Thrive book. You'll get to hear or read the stories, and what a magical time right now over the Christmas period for you to read our book. And if you want to become an author in our next book, the applications are currently open, and we're conducting interviews through next week and next year as well. So that's beginning in January. And we also have another book that we're going to be doing specifically for the ladies in Australia. We've got some amazing events coming up in person next year, so make sure you follow us. And of course, our magazine in print. This year, we've gone to print, and I couldn't be more proud of the team behind this magazine and the Women Thrive, who have brought our vision together of creating an amazing, beautiful publication that you get to have in your hands and read with your coffee in the morning. I love this publication. Just receiving it in the post always puts a smile on my face. And this is representation of incredible people who have stories to share, women just like you. This is not just for celebrities. This is not just for gossip. This is not just to talk about our body image and makeup. This is real magazine for real people who have dreams, ambitions, goals, businesses, and they have true wisdom to share. So let's put it back on the map to have quality publications where we can share incredible stories. And of course, as you see, myself and my co-host Abigail on the cover of the magazine. So thank you for all of you who have purchased or have looked at our magazine, or if you haven't yet, head over to womenthriveMag.com magazine.com. And of course, for those of you who are joining us in London next week for our in-person Christmas event, you will receive a hard copy of this as a thank you for your participation. Yes, Abby, can't wait to get my copy. Well, I know we're running over time, but I just want to say thank you. Thank you to our incredible team who help us make these events happen, to our production, to our marketing team, to our executive team, and everyone who is involved in bringing this incredible production to life. It has been such a pleasure and honor to serve you this year and to bring all of this vision together. I'm so grateful for everyone involved, because without them, we wouldn't be able to execute this vision. I'm really grateful for our speakers who are sharing their voice on our platform and helping us make beautiful impact in this world. And you may not even know how important your presence is in today's event and in any event in the world itself. And I want to say big thank you to all of you watching today. For those who shared and restreamed this platform, this live today, I am grateful for you. And I look forward to seeing you participating in our future events, networking events, showcases, and hopefully live in person so we can give each other a big hug. Thank you all so much. Go ahead, enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you at another event. Take care for now. Bye-bye. We'll see you next year.